like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. When God with a ship for me is headed. When God with a ship for me is headed. Ballin' like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.
Excuse the voice. Monday. Welcome to this episode of the newly named from the Antoine Spivey Show to now EnDaZone Sports. Rebranding, reliving up everything. Happy Monday. Appreciate everybody tuning in on the Diva Spivey Media Network. Also on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe channel for more content like you're about to receive today. And y'all see who I got in the building with me. Kels the Truth.
What up?
AKA, and I'm admitting this live on air, y'all, AKA my future boss. And I know y'all like, damn, young ghost, what you mean by future boss? This is what I mean. Today's show, we're touching on the NBA, we're touching on football, and we're touching on what's going to be my favorite subject of the year, fantasy football. And when I say that, this is why I say my future boss, because little do y'all know, the ones that do know already know what it is. For the ones that don't know, I'm going to be Kel's general manager after he don't win a championship, and finally getting him a championship ring with my help, of course. With that being said,
okay, yeah.
That being said, what's up, Kels? Good to see you.
Not much. How was your Father's Day?
Now listen, I'm going through it. Don't say I'm fighting this cold, trying to stay above waters, but hey, I'm here. We about to rock and roll. We about to get this show started. Other than that, it was cool. How was your Father's Day?
It was good. My kids came over and ate all the chicken, but it was still good.
If you was a
legend, I told you.
You would get that piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying?
I got the piece of chicken.
You just Kels, so you don't get that piece of chicken.
Hey, Kels gonna win the ship, so it's gonna be more than Kels this year.
Yeah. Speaking of chips, let's get this show started, man. Y'all don't forget, hit that subscribe button for more content like y'all about to receive today. And with that being said, it's fantasy football season. It's time. It's June. Football should be here before you know it. Everybody getting their leagues ready. Of course, all leagues that I'm in, I own, whether that's my league, which I'm about to change the name of that too. Mm-hmm. Let y'all know that in a minute. Or whether it's League of Champions, own that league too. Or whether it's League of Misfits, own that league too. The only one. What up, Blaze? The only one that I need to solidify my greatness. I'm already great. I'm already the greatest. But the only one I need is Wakanda. And the way I feel this year, the mission I'm on this year, becoming 16-time champion, general manager. Yeah. I'm going to get that if it comes back. With that being said, let's get this show started. Ready, Kels?
I'm ready for your shenanigans.
Fantasy football is here. And we're going to talk about the running backs, rankings, where they should go, what we think they should go. So today is the running back edition of fantasy football. Y'all see him representing Jameer Gibbs, fantasy football running back. That should be a hint for people out there in the world.
I already know.
I'm throwing hints out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing hints.
No, you had him. You had him last year.
And what did he get last year?
We about to
a chip. With that being said, let's talk fantasy football. Huh?
He was on your team.
Don't do that. Running back edition.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. We got the top 10 running backs. As we all know, which would be, we got Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Jameer Gibbs, of course. We got Derrick Henry,
Jameer Gibbs.
Like I said, Jameer Gibbs, Chase Brown. You got to throw him in there after the year he had last year.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, who was third in rushing last year, third in fantasy points for running backs last year, actually.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Where you see some of these running backs landing, and what is their value? What is they worth to you? We gonna start with, of course, this guy right here, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I see Jahmyr Gibbs last year. He was the fantasy 21.3 average. So that ranked him number 3 in fantasy at the running back position. So it depends on what this new offensive coordinator is gonna do with him. Is he gonna get more touches, more than David Montgomery has?
Oh no, that's not gonna happen.
So because Montgomery also had 12 touchdowns, Jahmyr Gibbs had 16, which upped his fantasy points because he was getting enough touchdowns and long runs to solidify that third. So if I was ranking him, he's the third best black back in fantasy right now. Even though
rank number 3.
Yeah, even though Montgomery will take some snaps from him, especially in the red zone because they go from
John Taylor. Oh,
Jonathan
man.
Taylor. He said Jonathan Taylor 3.
Jonathan Taylor.
No, Jahmyr Gibbs is number 3 for me.
Yeah, I like Jahmyr Gibbs. A solid 3 is good. A solid 3. I definitely don't see him leapfrogging Bijan Robinson, and I definitely don't see him leapfrogging Saquon Barkley, which leaves him at number 3. That's a very good position for him at number 3. Last year, as you just stated out, 16 touchdowns. When David Montgomery was missing in action, his stats and his everything
more touches.
Roll to the top.
Right.
As far as you said David Montgomery getting just as much touches as him this year.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. But I do see David Montgomery being valuable to that team as he was this year. But Jahmyr Gibbs at number 3, I'm all down. I'm round 1, the third running back to come off. I can't knock that at all. Bijan Robinson. Of course, we give y'all the obvious ones at first. Bijan Robinson. This is a tough one.
Bijan number 2.
Ooh.
Bijan is number 2.
He ranked the number 1 running back coming into this season.
The reason why he ranked number 1 is because Bijan is a pass catching running back. He had 61 catches last year for 447 yards.
Saquon can catch out the backfield too.
But not like Bijan. They look not like Bijan. Bijan also caught more passes. Also going towards the playoffs. Bijan ranked higher. Bijan had a 20.1 fantasy points per game this year. Last year. He also caught 61 passes for 437 yards. And in fantasy, what's good is either you can catch the ball for a running back or score on touches. He had 14 touchdowns last year. That's good for a running back, So I picked him number 2 because of his passing game, and plus I think Atlanta gonna be using him more this year than previous years because they got to see what Michael Penix can do. Penix, I always call him Phoenix.
They call him that for the whole year.
I know
because the whole year and a half now.
I think I always think because they don't got the O in it. You know how you spell his name. So he's still like a rookie.
Junior.
Yeah, he's still like a rookie a little bit. So we'll see, but they're gonna lean heavily on Bijan this year through the run and the pass.
And of course, we got your opinion. I feel differently. Me, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. That's the number 1 rated running back in fantasy football this season. Again, I think having Michael Penix Jr. back there is going to amp up his touches more, his volume more, his maybe what he had last year touchdowns? 14?
Yeah, 16. No, yeah,
16? 14?
Right.
I can see that up in this year.
But 2 more, 3 more?
Huh?
You think about 3 more to get on 17?
I can see that. I can see three maybe 4 more.
Total? Because
total.
Total. Okay. So you
Total.
probably think he could get like 3 rushing and maybe keep the 14 rushing touchdowns?
I could.
Or 7 and 7?
Nah, he definitely gonna get more than 7-7. He definitely gonna have more rushing touchdowns. So for me, I'm going with Bijan number 1.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take Saquon Barkley at number 2. I think that's a good spot for him. You still got to take into effect of Jalen Hurts, excuse me, and that tush push that has not been bad in the NFL. So I think once again this year we're going to see Saquon Barkley. Excuse me, y'all got to bear with me getting over this cold, but I think Saquon Barkley touchdowns is going to be affected again this year with the tush push still being into effect. We know how multi-dimensional, let me say, they could be when they get down to the goal line situations. What you about to say?
Well, I got Barkley number 1. Even though Bijan had all that, he still led all running backs in fantasy points with 22.2.
I mean, damn, the dude had like 4 games where he had like damn 300 yards rushing.
He did have 2,000. He had 2,000 yards rushing.
And you still mad about that, aren't you? That he should have got the record.
Because look, all that little bull crap you talking about, the tush push, he could have saved that. He slid one game. He slid in front on a touchdown.
Hey, but look, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at the bigger picture, which is his whole goal was he don't care about that rushing record. He won a Super Bowl, and he got that. Something I'm going to teach you after this year.
Hey, what Eddie Kane say? Fuck a big picture. He could have had 2. He could have had the record and a Super Bowl ring.
Hey, what's more important? What's more important?
And 4 more touchdowns.
Unless you're like me, that got 13 of them things. You know what I'm saying? You can afford to let me like this year for instance.
Mm-hmm.
My main goal ain't winning no chip this year.
Yeah, becoming my GM.
Right, that's my main goal. So I know people got different set of goals going into each season. Let's talk about Chase Brown.
Oh, I forgot about Chase Brown.
Is he? Well, we know he's not a first round pick. We pretty much know who's going in the first round. But out of the running backs, what is his rank as running backs? Where you see him being picked at? We already know. We just said Barkley, Robinson, and Gibbs is the top 3. Where in the top 10 is you placing Chase Brown?
Chase Brown is a solid 6 for me. A solid 6.
Okay.
Because he playing in a high-power offense. He gonna get his catches too because Joe Burrow do like to throw to the running back. He has nobody behind him, so he gonna get all the work. You know, he got Sabranzi Perine and Zach Moss, who coming off a neck injury, which he's not going to be effective. They even traded for Khalil Herbert, but Khalil Herbert is there no more. So Chase Brown going to get the majority of the touches, the majority of the snaps. So I see him maybe trying to creep up a little bit into that 3 or 4 spot, depending on how Jahmyr Gibbs do this year.
That's interesting. You said he's going to clip the top 3? That's what you saying?
No, he'll be in the top 5. I'll give him top 5.
Okay.
He might be 5th. He might be 5th because it depends on how they run their offense this year.
Because Cincinnati?
Because Joe Burrow like to throw to his wide receivers.
They're going to run their offense how they've been doing it the past couple of seasons.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't think their offense is going to change. I don't think the offense is going to change.
I think T. Higgins, me personally, I think T. Higgins go match what he did and do more if he stay healthy. I think T. Higgins is like the go-to guy when Burrow. I mean, Chase gonna do his thing, but when Chase is not covered, T. Higgins like the number 1A. So
I mean, that happened when T. Higgins was healthy last year. That happened, and Chase Brown was still able to get his. If it wasn't for his. Well, that was the playoff. He had an 80. He had an 80%. That was the playoff game. He got hurt.
Right. He had 80%. He played 80% of the snap last year, so he got the majority of the carries.
And you think that's going to change this year?
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe. And plus, he was working on an injury, his injury. I mean, he started getting injured towards the. But they're gonna have to scale him back. He's the smartest running back. But with that said, Chase Brown will be in the top 5.
So you think he's going to be the 6th running back to come off the board?
Yes, he will be the 6th running back come off the board.
I could see that because you got, again, we mentioned the top 3: Barkley, Bijan, Jameer Gibbs. You got.
He's similar to Karen Williams. He's similar, just similar.
I mean, okay.
Because he Karen Williams is the only running back who getting touches. You know, he get, like I said, Karen Williams also got 339 carries last year. That's unheard of for a running back in this day and age.
I mean, that because, you know, Blake Corum got hurt. I'm saying his name right? Yeah.
Blake Corum was very ineffective this year, too. That's why they went out and drafted another running back.
And he got hurt. He was hurt, though, too. I like Corum. Speaking of Kyron Williams, that was the next one I was going to. Where you see his draft stock at? Where do you expect for him to be drafted at? You put Chase Brown at 6, and you say they similar. So where are you ranking Kyron Williams going into this season? Keep in mind the addition of Devontae Adams can also be somewhat effective for Kyron Williams because you know he gonna want to get the ball. He got him a decent quarterback now, right? Matthew Stafford. No knock on Aaron Rodgers.
And one Aaron Rodgers, it was more like
Aaron Rodgers.
The Raiders.
We gonna find out with Rodgers this year in Pittsburgh. But where are you ranking Kyron Williams?
7th.
Ooh.
The 7th best runner because
I can't wait to hear about this 2 certain running backs. If you got Chase at 6, Kyron Williams at 7, but go ahead and explain why.
All right, because of his volume but his touchdown ratio is not that great to me. When they get down to the goal line, it's mostly they throwing the ball. Kyron Williams is not a goal line back.
He had a decent amount of goal line touchdowns though.
Right, but it's not like they pound the ball with him. You know, they don't pound the ball with him. I don't know you maybe. I have CMC ranked higher than him, and even though CMC is coming back from injury, CMC I got ranked higher than Kyron Williams.
So you got Kyron Williams at 7, Chase Brown at 6. You got to have CMC either 5 or 4, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep.
Kyron Williams, I see him being. The way this running back class is this year, for real.
Man,
I can see Kyron Williams going in the 3rd round. I can see Kyron Williams being like the 8th, maybe 9th.
You got damn.
Nice running back coming off.
Okay.
And it's a whole bunch of running backs, but I can explain why I say this. And then I also stated you adding Devontae Adams to the mix. Puka, no more Cooper Kupp. But you know, the Rams they're still gonna throw the ball. They're still gonna throw the ball. Kyron Williams still gonna get his touches, of course. He is. But now you just mentioned the red zone. Now you gotta put it into play one of the best red zone receivers in the game, which is Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then, you know, we already seen last year they get to the 5-4 yard line and they doing some type of quick screen, Puka or Cooper Kupp, but Kupp ain't there. They bring back
Tutu Atwell.
Tutu Atwell. So we're gonna see how much action he get. But I got Kyron Williams going in the 3rd round, high in the 3rd round.
9th, 3rd?
Like maybe depending on whomever got that pick, how they roster constructed, would be I ain't saying at the end of the 3rd round, at the beginning of the 3rd round, maybe mid. I can see Kyron Williams coming off the board. Let's talk about Ashon Genty.
The rookie.
A lot of high expectations from him coming out of Vegas. He's going to get the bulk of the carries over there. You may not think so. I think he is. We know Pete Carroll like to run the football.
Oh yeah, he got the ball.
They got Geno Smith, quarterback. They still got Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers. and they added another receiver.
John Beck from BYU.
Yeah.
And
So
Orton.
where are you ranking, and where do you expect Alshon Jeffrey to be drafted at?
Yeah, I don't trust rookies, so it's just my personal thing. I got Alshon Jeffrey, me personally, at 8. Number 8. I got Jeffrey at 8 because I don't know.
Ain't running back coming off the board for you?
Yeah, for me, but that's not gonna happen. Everybody gonna feed into the hype, and he gonna be like It depends on how many people you got in your league. If it's a 12
you talking
man
about a 10-man league here.
And a 10-man league,
well, we could say 12. We could say 12.
Oh, he going 12. No, that means he'll be the first running back coming off. No, it won't. He'll be the 12th. He'll be the 12th running back, I feel, or later in the second round towards like the maybe 12th pick or anything like that.
So you think Jeffrey?
Yeah, because
he's running back coming off the board. So
because he a rookie. I don't. It's hard. Running backs nowadays, but it's hard for running backs. And Oakland offensive line is not that great. So I feel that they're the reason why they got Geno Smith, because Pete Carroll is familiar with Geno Smith. They picked another wide receiver. I think they're gonna start throwing the ball a little bit more than what people expect because of Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and Beck, and the other deep threat of Thornton. I think Alshon gonna get his touches, but it's also you got Zamir White there, and you also got McCormick, which came on.
What did we learn from Zamir White last year when he was supposed to take over that backfield?
Yeah,
he was supposed to take over the backfield last year.
Yeah, but you
think that's going to change this year?
But Sincere McCormick is might be a threat to take a little.
Man, he got that action because of injuries, dog.
But Ashton Jennings gonna be the man in Vegas. They picked him high, so he gonna get the ball. But for fantasy wise, with me, I think they more likely gonna lean on the passing game more than the running game. That's why they brought Geno. They didn't bring Geno Smith over there to hand off the ball.
So
you got Brock Bowers going in some draft. In some draft, he going number 1, not number 1 overall, but
he's going to be the first tight end taken off the board.
Yeah, he's the first tight end.
He's going to be the first. But I think the Raiders offense is, I'm not going to say be the same because of course they got a new head coach in there, new terminology, new everything. But what we do know is Pete Carroll do like to run the football, except for in Super Bowls. So let's hope they don't get there, and that happened. But Alshon Jeffrey, the 8th running back to come off the board, I can definitely, let me see, 1, 2, 3. My 4 would be him. 5. You had Chase Brown 6, and you had Kyron Williams 7. That's yours. Mine, I have Bijan 1, Barkley 2, Gibbs 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You said Alshon Jeffrey 8?
Yep.
Okay. This is Chase Brown for me. You know what? I think Alshon Jeffrey could possibly be the 4th or 5th running back taken off the board this year.
Yeah, because of the height, but not in real life. Not in reality.
Okay, let me ask you this: how did you feel about Bijan Robinson last year coming out?
I thought Bijan was one of the best running back coming out of college.
Oh, why? Okay, you said, and why was that? Because of what you said from him in college, right?
Yeah, but I knew Bijan Bijan had the passing skill, and he went to an offensive back. Bijan, his rookie year, was the 14th best running back coming in fantasy. Fantasy wise,
that because who was the starting quarterback last year to start the season off? Kirk Cousins.
It
Kirk Cousins.
You want Kirk Cousins
In Atlanta?
in his rookie year?
Oh, I thought you said last year.
No, I'm talking about. I just said
Bijan Robinson rookie year. Who was it? Desmond Ritter
it was No, it was
or Sam Hinkie?
it was Tyler Hinkie.
Tyler Hinkie.
Tyler Hennick, yeah. Yep. And then they went to Desmond Ritter.
Okay, that explains even more why it is.
No, that should explain more why he should have got the ball more.
What you say from Ashon Genty in college? Based off what you just said.
No, he's a great running back.
That you don't think he can make that type of impact that Bijan Robinson did his rookie season?
His rookie season, Bijan was the 14th ranked running back coming out. 14th ranked fantasy running back that year. Ashon Genty is a rookie. My thing with rookies is I have to see before I pick you that high. He cannot be my number one running back. Let's just say that. I'm not picking Ashon Genty nowhere in the first round, second round, maybe the fourth round I'll pick him.
He's not lasting to the fourth round. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know, but that's just me. I'm looking at other running backs than Ashon Genty.
This explains why you still have the goose egg as champion. For me, I think Ashon Genty, I'm gonna put him at 5. I think he'll be the 5th running back coming off the board this year in fantasy.
Genty
at number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I like the explosiveness from him for one. I don't think no other back that they have is going to really be able to compete with him to even get as much touches as him, or dare I say, prevent him from starting.
You're gonna start. You're definitely gonna start.
We alluded on how Pete Carroll liked to run the football.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to continue. I'm not saying that Geno Smith is going to throw the ball 15 times a game, 15, 20 times a game. I'm not saying that. But Ashon Genty is going to get his touches running the football and receiving. I think they're going to create plays for him because he is that special and that good of a talent at the running back position. We're looking at him, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I see him in a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like
Chase Brown can catch balls too on the backfield.
He's going before Chase Brown, I can tell you that. He's going before Chase
Brown. Because of his height.
I like Chase Brown. Like, I got him off the waiver wire and got him a chip. Oh, but you know,
I tried to trade him for you. You didn't want to do it. I know why you didn't want to do it, but it's cool. Because you were stalling.
Hey, my office is always open. We got multiple telephones sitting on the desk. Each phone is ringing. So we answer calls here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Answer my call.
Huh?
You answered my call.
I did. We negotiated, didn't we?
Yeah, you said, and you came back and said, and we going off topic, but you came back and said, "Oh no, I forgot. I got Sutton too."
Okay.
No, you had another Denver Bronco because I was gonna give you Courtney Sutton.
What Bronco did I have? Michael Mims Jr.? No, that was in the other league.
No,
a chip in.
But you had a Bronco.
No.
You had
Bo Nix?
No, DeVar Lely.
Man, that was just a one game pickup. He ain't getting no action, man. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Genty being the 5th running back. Took off the board.
So you said Genty 5th?
Yeah, I think Genty gonna be the 5th running back. Took off the board.
And I said he gonna be 8th.
Yeah, you said 8th. Josh Jacobs. This is a very interesting one to me.
Number 4.
I think Josh Jacobs might be the 4th running back coming off the board. Considering the fact he was valuable and probably won a lot of people their fantasy leagues last year.
Mm-hmm.
Won me one in another league. you see the trend? All I'm doing is creating championships, man. You're next in line, Kel. You're next in line. But
You ain't telling them
I think the Packers offensive line is probably going to be better going into next season than it was last year. They had a decent offensive line last year.
right.
Run offensive line, you know what I'm saying? Last year, and Josh Jacobs was third in the NFL in rushing, third, I believe, in fantasy points coming from the running back position.
Yep.
Scoring touchdowns. He was very valuable, and I don't think that's gonna change either in Green Bay.
Okay.
So I got Josh Jacobs being the fourth running back took off the board.
Ooh, I don't know. I just thought about somebody. So you got him fourth?
Yeah, I got him fourth.
Okay. He averaged 17.2 fantasy points. Jacobs also rushed for 1329 and had 15 touchdowns.
And keep in mind, a lot of games he didn't really play in the fourth quarter.
Right, because but I have my first three was Barkley
1, Robinson 2, Williams 3.
My fourth pick will be me, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Henry rushed for 1,921 yards, and his fantasy points per game was 19.
So Derrick Henry your fourth, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And this is a dude who don't catch the ball. He had 16 touchdowns as a running. So most likely he got most of his off of rushing, and Derrick Henry is a beast. You know, once he gets started, and he hard to tackle, and he almost had over 2,000 yards in that Baltimore Ravens offense with Lamar Jackson. So
I'm not mad at that.
I got him for, and Jacob fifth.
I'm not mad at that Derrick Henry pick. I can't be mad because, you know, that's King Henry. Everybody lightweight doubted him last year, and he still went out and did his thing last year. One again.
I might have to switch my what's the name?
One again. Some people they fantasy league. He was on my team again. Another championship, as you see. That's all I do, produce championships. So, that's a good one. But for me, I'm gonna have Derrick Henry at 6, right behind Alshon Jeffrey again. And I'm looking at, not saying Derrick Henry's not gonna produce. I still think he's gonna produce. I think Derrick Henry again is gonna get double-digit touchdowns this season. I think with Zay Flowers coming back healthy, I think they're going to try to get him more acclimated into the offense even more. He was a first round pick 2 years ago. That's going to be Lamar Jackson's go-to guy. Well, I ain't going to say go-to because Mark Andrews is still there, but his A1 receiver, his number one receiver. I think Isaiah Likely is going to get involved more this season for Baltimore. And Lamar's going to be Lamar.
What about Rashad Bateman? They just signed him to a contract.
They did. I mean, look, man, just because somebody gets signed to a contract deal, that don't mean that they about to go out here and do their thug dizzle. But, I mean, I think Rashad Bateman is going to be Rashad Bateman. May start off the season. First 2 games, balling. That's Jim Jones, balling.
Right.
And then tail off like he normally do. But I think Derrick Henry going to have a teensy, not a big, teensy, weensy little step back this season.
So what would that step back be?
Huh?
What would his stat line to make him what? You know, the man rushed over 1,921 yards and had 16 touchdowns. And he still, and if you ever saw him work out, the man still work out. Dude is 6'2", 245.
I see him going from 8. Well, what he had, 19? 19?
Yeah, 1921.
That 19 gonna drop to about 17.
So that means Lamar gonna have to, or
maybe high 16. I think Lamar this year.
Then he gonna be rushing more.
I can say the same. I think he is. I think he realized last year that he got to be Lamar. You know what I'm saying? He got to be Lamar, not just passing the ball, but he got to use some lead. That's what got him there. Hell, his mama got on this case about, you know what I'm saying, about not doing it. So
when your mama getting your case, you better start doing it.
I got Derrick Henry 6. Okay. I think the 7th running back to come off the board, which will probably be second round. We're talking now in the second round. Maybe high 3rd round. And this one kind of like I'm still conflicted on. But I think when healthy, he's better than all the other running backs that I got behind him, and that's CMC. I think McCaffrey will be a second round pick this season. If not, and that's why I say this. That's why I said this. Yeah, that's why I said this is a tricky one for me. But I think when healthy, you know what I'm saying, he could be a clear cut RB1 by the way he be utilized in San Francisco. But I'm not too high on San Francisco offense this year either, for real. I think their
offensive line or their receiver.
I think the offensive line took a hit. Okay. But given the fact
got Trent Williams.
Given the fact he's CMC, I'm gonna give him that much respect and say he'll go in the second round. After the seventh running back took off the board, my eighth running back to come off, that's where I'm gonna put Chase Brown at.
Chase Brown?
I think Chase Brown will be the eighth running back coming off the board this season. For all the reasons that you said earlier, he can catch the ball. He's in a high-power offense, so you got to respect the two outside wide receivers, which is going to get him more opportunities, dump offs, little quick fullback slant plays coming out the backfield, boom, boom. And then still running the ball. He was a pretty damn good runner last year, too, when healthy. So, yeah, I got Chase Brown, 8th, coming off the board. Who is your 9th and 10th?
My 9th and 10th will be James Cook. James Cook. He had 18 touchdowns this year. Fantasy points wise, he was 16.7 fantasy point wise. He's looking for a new contract. You know how they play with the new contract. So, Joe Barry, the offensive coordinator, liked to run the ball more. Also, Josh Allen liked to throw the ball to his running backs a little bit more now that his stressor. So James Cook is number 9. My 10th one will be, and he was RB1 back in the day, and that's JT, Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh.
So I will put him up a little higher because I think they're gonna run the ball more with JT this year because who the hell knows who that quarterback gonna be? And I'm a little leaning.
Eventually, still gonna be Anthony Richardson,
right?
And at some point, he still could get benched, like we seen last season. For Daniel Jones, like last season, he got benched for Flacco. I can see Daniel Jones matching this year.
So I would say JT is my 10th. And and Cook.
No Christian McCaffrey.
No, because I gotta see CMC. Man, he burnt me last year, so I ain't gonna even lie. I picked to number 1, and I thought when healthy, he could deal with Barkley, Robinson, all them boys were healthy. But coming out of San Francisco, they say he's healthy, but they said that last year. So I don't know with CMC. So, but I'm going with healthy running backs. That's who I pick. I'll try to pick the most healthiest players that don't get injured as much. So with that, CMC, he gonna be my 11th.
You know what?
If he come to me in the right spot, I might gamble. But the first 3 rounds, I'm not taking them.
You know what? I think I might have to make a change with mine. Because I forgot all about this dude. I'm going to take out, on my list, I'm going to take out CMC.
Okay.
And I'm going to replace Josh Jacobs as being the 7th running back coming off. And I'm going to have at the fourth running back, Bucky Irvin. I forgot about Bucky Irvin. I think Bucky Irvin now commands that backfield and on that backfield in Tampa Bay. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay, because they had 3 running backs they was running with last year. Like
White and Tucker.
I can see them get rid of White. I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of White. And Tucker slided to that number 2 RB role in Tampa Bay. But Bucky Irvin had definitely took over that backfield.
So you got
in Tampa Bay. So I got Bijan Robinson being the first running back coming off.
Right.
followed by Saquon Barkley being the second, Jahmyr Gibbs being the third, Bucky Irvin being the fourth, Ashon Jeanty being the fifth running back coming off.
Okay.
Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs, you can flip flop in my opinion, being the sixth and seventh running backs coming off the board.
Okay.
Number 8, Chase Brown.
All right.
Then my 9th and 10th, I agree with you with the James Cook. I like James Cook being the 9th running back, also projected in the second round to come off the board. Again, what do you have? 18, 19 touchdowns last year with Buffalo.
Yeah, 18.
18. As you pointed out, Joe Brady loves to run the football. I think the Bills' offense strived once he finally, once they finally decided as an organization, coaching staff, to start running the ball more. Stop putting the ball so much in Josh Allen's hands where the game always got to be on him. And that's where he was making a lot of his turnovers at 2 seasons ago. Last year, he had one of his best seasons, and we talked about it all year without Stephon Diggs.
I said,
and that was because they was running the football, whether it was him, James Cook, Ray Davis got some action.
Tyler Johnson.
Johnson got some action. So I see James Cook still in that same realm as last year. I don't think he'll score 18 touchdowns again.
No, I think they're going to go down.
Yeah, he's still going to be up there. So the 9th running back, I'm not mad at it all. 10th running back coming off. This is where I'm going to put CMC at. I'm going to put him at the 10th. And again, that's.
Are y'all disrespecting my boy, man?
Who, Christian McCaffrey?
No, Jonathan Taylor, man. Y'all disrespecting.
I think what's going. I think with Jonathan Taylor would be the. Again, that's one of those situations with him and Christian McCaffrey. You can flip out them. Yeah, you can flip out them either 10th or 11th coming off. But I think what's going to continue to hurt Jonathan Taylor is if Anthony Richardson is the starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of his style of play. Right. Even down in the red zone. You know, if we talking, it's all about touchdowns. You get them, especially in fantasy. Right. That's 6 points. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Richardson at the goal line could take a lot of, kind of like the who was the first running back we talked about? Well, your number 1 running back, Saquon Barkley, kind of like him and Jalen Hurts situation. Right. So that's how I'm looking at the Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor situation. So you could flip flop him and CMC 10th, 11th. But again, I'm giving CMC that based off of 2 things. 1, of course, his health. 2, him being Christian McCaffrey. Man, I ain't gonna disrespect him like that.
I ain't disrespecting CMC neither because. Once again, when CMC is healthy, CMC is one of the best running backs in the NFL by none. It's no question, it's no doubt or anything. But once again, we got to see him healthy. The last healthy year, he led the league in rushes, catches, and all that for running backs. But let's see if he's healthy. Another running back we did discuss though was Kenneth Walker, which also is not healthy.
Injuries. Injuries plays a lot, but he's definitely top 15 running back. He's definitely top 15 running back, and this is a nice running back group. I ain't just gonna say, and I'm adding the rookies to this because you still got Omarion Hampton, R.J. Harvey, Quinshon Junkins, Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson. You know, like I like them. You said who?
Scatter. What that do for the Giants? Yeah.
I like all of them. So again, like the running back position is gonna be very, very, very interesting to see this year in fantasy football. Good shit, Cavs. Good shit. Well, I can't wait to do the wide receiver edition. Quarterback, all positions. Again. Right. Again, y'all, football season is here. Fantasy football will be here before you know it. We're going to keep you updated on every position, what's changing, what's staying the same, all that, yada, that we did today with the running backs edition. And the next edition will be the wide receiver edition, which will be Friday. So make sure y'all tune in Friday for the wide receiver edition. Right. Let's talk a little NBA, man. Let's talk a little NBA. We had a blockbuster deal that happened yesterday. We want to touch on real quick. The Orlando Magic sending Kentavious Caldwell-Pope 4 first-round picks, and there was another
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony over to the Memphis Grizzlies for Desmond Bane. Woo!
That's a lot.
Although Desmond Bane showed he could somewhat carry a team when John Morant wasn't there, they were still playing good. Desmond Bane was balling, averaging 20 plus,
Right.
maybe 25 plus. Real quick, what you think about that trade?
To give up 4 first-round picks, Desmond Bane better be the next coming. He should average like 20-some points a game over there.
I think he is. I think he is just because of Pablo, and Franz. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's gonna go over there and make a big impact for Orlando. All they needed was shooting. Marks
he's a shooter.
Yeah, he's a shooter. He's a shooter.
And they play good. He played good defense because the one thing the Magic hang their hat on is defense, which he can play defense and he can shoot. But to give up 4 first-round picks for him, that was a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So, but I like to trade for Orlando.
I also like to trade for Memphis because now you're getting a backup guard. I mean, what they gonna do with Scottie Pippen Jr. now with Cole Anthony?
Man, I think Cole Anthony's gonna be a backup. I think Scottie Pippen Jr. and that's what we're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on that a little bit later too. But the big question is, what's next in Memphis? Could we possibly see like a whole shakeup? Could we see the next one being on the move? Could be a Jaren Jackson Jr.
JJ.
I'm hearing swirls about that. But again, I like the deal for Orlando. We're gonna see how it work out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this guy right here, Kevin Durant.
All right.
He came out and narrowed his teams down to Miami, San Antonio,
and Houston.
Mm-hmm. Sean reported today that he has no interest on going to the Timberwolves.
Okay.
Anthony Edwards really wanted that, would have loved that. I'm hearing they're not too jumpy on making a deal with Miami to send him over there. Although we saw Tyler Hero somewhat trying to hint on social media that KD was coming, whatever. What is the best trade scenarios? So we're going to do a deal or no deal for Kevin Durant. And we're going to do the 3 teams that he has: San Antonio, Houston, and Miami. I'm going to take Miami out the picture.
Okay.
Would you take this deal if you was Houston? Afro Sengun. This is if Desmond Bane went for 4 draft picks.
You already know what I'm about to say.
Because I really think Phoenix is going to want Alfred Sengun.
Yeah.
Maybe Ahmed Thompson.
I can see that.
A Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
And 2 first-round picks for Kevin Durant.
3 players?
3 players for Kevin Durant to pair up with Jalen Green.
If I'm Houston, they did resign Steve Adams, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I would have my big man. I'm getting rid of Jabari Smith, which is a young big man. I'm getting rid of Alpha Sengun, which was an all-star this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said also Ahmed Thompson. Ooh,
that's a lot.
I would have to get somebody else in return besides just Kevin Durant. You would have to give me somebody else.
Okay, Kevin Durant, a good one.
Chris Good. Yeah,
take him out. Kevin Durant and Grayson Allen for Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith, Ahmed Thompson, and 2 draft picks. Deal or no deal?
Yeah, I'm getting Grayson who can shoot and play defense, and I'm getting back, and I'm getting the best player in the deal, Durant. Yeah, even though it'd be hard for me to give up Ahmed Thompson, but I'm getting Durant. So I'm looking from Durant. I'm looking from Steve Adams, Van Fleet, Dennis Brooke, I still got Deshaun Tate. I still would have Taron Easton. I would still have my
Cam
majority.
Whitmore.
I
Cam
would still
Whitmore.
I still have Cam Whitmore. So yeah, all right, I could deal with that. That would be a good deal for me. Because I'm getting back another shooter. I'm getting back Grayson Allen.
Kevin
But-
Durant, San Antonio.
Oh, who you thinking? Oh, you want me to?
Jeremy Shohan,
No.
Vessel,
Mm.
Harrison Barnes,
Mm.
and 2 future first round draft picks.
But
Oh,
Durant,
and Cassell. Phoenix is gonna want that young guy, that young boy.
oh yeah. Are you telling me you getting me Cassell, Vesley, Shohan,
And two
and
first
2
round
first
picks.
round? For just Durant?
Yeah.
Yeah, send that. Because I still got De'Aaron Fox. I still would have De'Aaron Fox. But
So
Castle, ooh.
Your core would be De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Durant, and Victor Wembanyama. Of course, his health is going
Right.
to play a role in this.
I would have to do that. I would have to do that for the simple fact that I got Wemby. I got Wemby. I would still have De'Aaron Fox. Maybe Keldon Johnson will be if I can throw Keldon Johnson and at least give me Vesey back, or I could keep Castle, but I know it ain't gonna work. So, or I put in Keldon Johnson for Shohan. Leave me Shohan.
So you keep it Shohan and taking
I'm taking
Johnson.
I'm putting Keldon Johnson in the deal. Because
that.
Shohan can play all different positions for me.
He can.
So I like his versatility.
You're a versatility guy. I would definitely give you that. You're a versatility guy.
So I would say Keldon Johnson instead of Shohan. But I would take that deal.
Antetokounmpo.
I can't say his name, so the Greek freak.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got. I'm gonna throw something out here. The Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns. Josh Hart. I hate to say it. Trey McBride.
Miles McBride.
Excuse me, I'm thinking about fantasy football. Excuse me. Miles McBride. I said Trey McBride. Miles McBride.
You can get.
And 4 first round draft picks.
Damn.
For Giannis.
You said Cat,
Hart. McBride.
Hart, and 4 first?
4 first round. And maybe a Kevin Porter Jr. I don't think they'll want Kuzma.
No.
I don't think they'll want
okay. If I'm Milwaukee, I want to counter that. If I'm Milwaukee, give me Mikal Bridges and Cat, and Miles McBride.
I can see that in 4 first round draft picks.
And 4 first round draft picks.
And they so the Knicks giving them. Woo! I don't think that would work because the Knicks gave up 4 to Brooklyn for Mikal Bridges.
I know. So you see what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to recruit my 4.
The Knicks is stuck. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna need to give up Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. That team will really have to break up to get Giannis.
Yeah.
I can see them keeping OG Anunoby and your core being Brunson, OG Anunoby, and
Mitchell Robinson
and Giannis Antetokounmpo with Mitchell Robinson playing the 5.
Right.
Because I like the way he played in the playoffs when he came in. That kind of like set the tone. I think if New York would have did that earlier, they probably could have
more physical. More physical.
Yeah, definitely more physical than Cat. And then in Milwaukee, you getting back Karl Anthony Towns. You can start building around him. You still got Kyle Kuzma to add with Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. So I think that's a win-win for both teams.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks the figure
I
out.
don't know if they could give him four first round draft pick, and I don't even think New York got 4.
No, I don't think that's why you have to add that player in there because I don't think they
You
have
got to add 4 players for one.
The Dallas Mavericks.
For Giannis?
Giannis.
Okay.
PJ Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Gafford.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to add Klay Thompson.
If I'm Milwaukee, I won't want Klay.
Why?
Because Klay is not Klay. Klay to me is not the way Klay play anymore.
Well,
but therefore,
one of course it's not Klay Thompson from Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the Klay Thompson you want at this point, you're not getting it.
Oh no, I'm gonna get the
Klay Thompson had a damn near decent season this past year in Dallas.
No, he had a good season.
I'm not asking Klay to come over here and be my number 1 or number 2 option. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking that. I still got
But see, for me, from the standpoint, if I'm Dallas, I'm giving up my shooter to
you can figure that shit the fuck out. You getting Giannis. You pairing Giannis with Giannis, Kyrie, and AD.
Yeah, but who goes space the floor?
Who goes space the floor?
Yeah.
AD.
Yeah, AD can shoot outside. Okay, I can see that. But if they can just take PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, and maybe a Spencer Dinwiddie,
I can instead of
Klay.
The money got to add up.
That Spencer making what? That money probably added, and then throwing.
They got what 44 when he signed with them.
Yeah, 44. Yeah.
PJ Washington getting
down there 30, ain't he?
Yeah.
So that's 74 million right there. plus the four number ones. You know what I'm saying?
Plus the who?
4 number ones. I'm asking for 4 number ones from Dallas.
Cleveland Cavaliers, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
You could throw our name in the hat. Would you make a deal with the Cavaliers and receiving Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Matt Strus, Isaac Okoro, and maybe two first round picks for Giannis?
Send it.
Huh?
Send it.
And you can move Evan Mobley to the 5, Giannis at the 4.
Mobley to the 5, Giannis at the 4, Mitch at 1. I could go get who are 2 guard?
Matt Strus.
You said, but you added Matt Strus with the Bucks in the Bucks deal.
No, I said Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, and I did say Matt Strus. You're right.
Yeah. If I could keep Matt Strus, right there. I really Garland and Allen and Okoro and three draft pick is good enough. To be honest, if you really think about it,
For Giannis,
you get 2 All-Stars.
I think the Bucks gonna want more because they're not getting Evan Mobley.
Okay, so
Which I think if a deal like that was to happen, they're gonna want. I think personally they're gonna want Evan Mobley.
Yeah,
but hypothetically, as Cavs fans, if we could keep Evan Mobley, would you take that deal?
If I'm Milwaukee, I'll think about it. I'll try to put a third team in there, maybe. But Garland is an All-Star. Allen is an All-Star. You getting which is a decent player, and you maybe get 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah,
and you can build around Allen and Garland, and you still can win. Doc Rivers still can do something with that. And when Dame come back, you still got Dame and Garland, and you can move Dame to the off. You can move Dame to the off guard position. You have Garland at 1.
Dame come back next season for real.
Yeah, no. So if I'm Milwaukee, I would look into it. I would think about it because I'm getting 2 All-Stars back. But if they bunker down and they really want Mobley, if I'm giving up Mobley for Giannis, you're gonna have to give me back something else for Mobley. you're gonna have to give me like a Bobby Portis if I'm getting all these other players in my first round pick. It ain't gonna just be for Mo. It's just not gonna be for Giannis.
Real quick before we get up out of here, I'm gonna hit you with two things real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We see Tyrese Halliburton, young rising superstar. We see the plethora of young superstars over there in OKC, led by SGA. One of them was winning the ring this year.
Right.
So after this season, real quick, the next biggest young star coming up to win the championship is going to be who?
Wemby.
Why?
Because San Antonio about to try to get everybody named Mama over there. They got the skill set. Wemby is one of the best players right now. All he needs is another player that can be with him, another star who can be with him. He also got De'Aaron Fox now. All you need is another player. I think Vesey can develop into something, but if you could get a veteran in there for him and maybe replace Vesey and Castle with a good veteran player who know how to score, who know how to rebound, who know how to lead, then with him, Fox, and that star, they can, because Wemby gonna be blocking shots. Wemby gonna average 20-something points a game by himself, just looking at the basket.
I agree with you under one circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
If they go out and land a Kevin Durant, and or another big superstar, but since we're talking about Kevin Durant, whom that was one of the teams he didn't mind going to play, which he won't mind playing with Wemby either. Hopefully, his health will be good enough for him to play first and foremost. But let's just say Wemby is healthy and on the court playing. If they can land a Kevin Durant, and I think Kevin Durant got about
a good 4 years.
4 years, solid. Left in him. Because he can shoot, and the shooter always lasts long in the league. Look at Ray Allen, look at Reggie Miller, Shane Battier's of the world, Kyle Korver's of the world.
All shooters, that's all they do is shoot. They don't go to the hole.
You can stay on the court. You just got to get open. Your team got to get you open, and
Clay.
Your boy gonna get you. I mean, I ain't gonna say Clay right now, man. Like you hate on Clay. I think I agree with you, Wemby. It's just. And I like Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love Ant-Man. But I think something Minnesota gotta figure it out. They gotta figure it out. They gotta figure it out. Michael Conley is up there in age.
We ain't touched on it though. But Trae Young out there.
I can see Atlanta getting a Rudy Gobert.
I wouldn't even want. I'll say give me McDaniels and Nas Reed.
I gotta take Rudy too. If I'm Atlanta,
I don't need Rudy.
If I'm Atlanta,
yeah, Clint Capella. Man. And Okawara, whatever hell.
Move him to the fold. Move him to the fold where he was originally playing at. Move him to the fold. And so Rudy Gobert, Clint Capella. Who you rather have?
Scoring wise, defensive wise, Rudy Gobert.
I don't care scoring wise, defensive wise, free throw wise, court wise. I'm taking Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
So Trae Young, it'd be him, Ant-Man, Julius Randle.
Or Darius Garland.
Ant-Man. But if I'm the Cavs, send me Randle. You can have Darius Garland. Matter of fact, if I'm the Cavs, I need to figure out a way where I can move Evan Mobley to that 5 because that's where they play best at.
Get ready, Jared Allen. Send his ass to
Jared Allen to Minnesota, meaning he coming off the bench. Well, I wouldn't care.
No, send him to the Lakers.
Okay, that would have to be a third team we have to get involved in if he gonna go to the Lakers. That would be the third team if I'm the Cavs, okay, I'll call up Minnesota. Let's call up the LA Lakers. Let's see if we can make some type of deal happen there.
Mhm.
That'd be the only way we could get a Jared Allen to Minnesota. I mean, for that deal with Minnesota to happen involving Darius Garland and us getting Julius Randle, we have to add a third team, and why not it be the Lakers? So
The Lakers are beating somebody, and we gonna get Randall back.
yeah, so I'm gonna go with Wemby. I'm gonna go with Victor Wembanyama,
Okay.
the next young star after Halliburton and SGA. One of them go get it this year. Be the next to get a ring. Speaking of Halliburton and SGA, Game 5 tonight, happening in about 25 minutes. OKC, Indiana, and OKC. Who you got?
I'm going out on a limb. I always say I'm going with the
Underdog.
With the underdog, with the East. I'm going with Indiana. I picked them in the beginning.
You something else. That's how you feel. Why didn't you take the bet then? Why did you take the bet then?
Because I knew.
Scared.
No, we changed.
Scared.
We changed the bet because I knew Indiana was gonna win 2 games. I said that.
No, you were scared.
Yeah, because I knew I was gonna lose that bet.
You were scared.
Sometimes you gotta be smart, not scared. You can't be always. Sometimes you gotta know how to fold them.
Yeah.
Every time I can't jump out there, But I'm picking the Pacers tonight.
I'm going with the home team, OKC. I said OKC at 6. I'm sticking with that. I think OKC gonna win it tonight. I think too much pressure is gonna be on Indiana in Game 6, and OKC is even though they're at home, you know what I'm saying, they gonna come out and play hard. It's win or go home. I do believe that. I think OKC is gonna overcome that and win the next 2. So I got OKC tonight. SGA gonna be SGA. J-Dub gonna be J-Dub. Chet Holmgren need to have another Chet Holmgren game like he had last game, double, 14 and 12, I believe. I need to see a little bit more from Cason Wallace if you gonna be in that starting lineup, Cason. I'm gonna see a little bit more.
Man, you know what? This might be the game that he
go off.
He go off. It's always some bull crap. He ain't been shooting the ball all well. All of a sudden he come out and shoot the ball well. Hopefully that won't happen. I should have never said that because most of the time that shit comes to fruition with me when I'm going against a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I wake up other people. So let's go, Pacers. Halliburton, I need you to be more aggressive like before.
I think it might be tough. Man, I think that crowd. Look, last time we had a conversation like this, I told you, man, watch that crowd. And you like, yeah, we're going to have to see. And they came out and ramped shot over Minnesota.
And the best way to kill the crowd is to go out there and take it to them, because the one thing you cannot do is relax when you're on the road. You got to take them to them. You got to get that crowd out.
I believe Indiana is going to come out and bring the fight. You know what I always say, the first 5 minutes is going to determine the game.
Right.
It's going to determine the game. I always say that, and I don't never be wrong. When I be texting, see, look, what I tell you, Kel, this game over with. Game over with. You can just tell after that first 5 minutes of what's going to happen. But I think OKC going to win it tonight. I think they're going to take a lead heading to Indiana, where I believe they're going to close it out on the road. And SGA is going to complete the season of winning, having the best record in the league. Did he win the scoring title too?
Yep.
Winning the scoring title.
MVP,
NBA Finals,
NBA
champion, and MVP.
You know, the only people who done that was Jordan.
Did Brian do that?
I think Brian came close.
Brian
did. No, Brian never led the league in scoring when he won the title.
Yeah, he sure did.
Brian never did that. Jordan did it.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in on this week of the newly named show, EnDaZone Sports.
Yes, we be in the zone.
In the zone. Y'all see as we done went over time, but hey, we could do that when you running things. We was in the zone, EnDaZone Sports. Great show, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in on the Diva Spivey Media Network, and those that's tuned in on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like you see tonight on EnDaZone. Catch us Friday, where we're going to have a wide receiver edition of fantasy football.
Was it going to be like a pick and sip? No.
Hey, we gonna do what we do on the Friday. We still gonna have a drink. Grab your favorite drink, of course, folks, and come kick it this Friday, where we gonna discuss the wide receiver rankings, positioning, rounds, whatever you want to call it, and fantasy football, plus more. Check us out Friday, man. Until then, y'all stay safe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Hit it.
In the comments, all that. We need all that.
Hey, we appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe, man. The Friday, we out of here.
Peace.
Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. We got it with a ship for bees head. We got it with a ship for bees head. Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone